Alright guys, welcome to Brianinja another review. Today we're reviewing American Ninja Warrior Season 17, Episode 8. That's a lot of episodes already. I'm starting to lose track of the number of episodes of the season. But we're doing Semifinals 2/Episode 8 today, which aired on Monday. I'm getting kind of late with these, unfortunately, because I've been so busy. But I'm trying to get them done before the obstacle of the week at least. So that's my goal right now. So that's why we're doing these on Thursday, to at least get there before the next one airs. Because I don't want to be out of order with my videos. So I try to do this one at least on Thursday so I can do the other one on Friday. But that being said, we're getting into the review here. I'm trying to make this quick because I have a lot to do, including the obstacle of the week. I have to edit it tonight before tomorrow. It's going to be a long night. So let's start this review. Overall, like, this episode was pretty good. It did not feel like it dragged. In fact, it felt like it went fast, which also kind of helps because there was no ads. Because I watch it on Hulu, and usually it records with ads, but today it didn't record the ads. I don't know why, because I recorded it the same way. But I'm not complaining because I'm trying to save time, because tonight I'm on like a time crunch, like I said. So it worked out. I kind of like ads for pacing because it kind of makes it feel like the original version where it's on TV. But today is the day that I'm fine with cutting them because it saves me time. So that is good. I got these at 7-Eleven, and I'm so not bored. I mean, I like them so, but I'm just so like stressed. I'm like, eat these as I go to keep me going. They're kind of, I don't know, they're not really that good. They're just a Slurpee flavored gummy thing. I don't know why about it. But we're gonna review the show right here, starting with the course, which begins, of course, with I was gonna say the home run, but the quad steps, as they're rebranded to for this course. The quad steps, then the flywheels from the qualifying format, but without the sponsorship on it. Then the log runner for what feels like the billionth time. Then the spin cycle for what feels like the gazillionth time. Then the Ferris wheels. Then the warp wall, just warp wall, no mega wall because it's finals. Then the salmon ladder. Then we have a new one this week. The corkscrew replaces Cannonball Alley. I like corkscrew. It's a good one. It's pretty exciting to watch because you don't know what's gonna happen when they twist. And they go down really fast sometimes. I don't know what determines the speed, but that's kind of having the point. But they go down so fast that it's like, it's interesting to watch. You never know what's gonna happen. And yeah, I like it. It's a different type of movement, so I really like it. Then you have the doorknob arch, which I like still, back from last week. It's a good obstacle, a good grip test. And then the invisible ladder, which I gained even more appreciation for this week. It's a very good ender. Like, I'm so glad to have it back. Because before, I thought it got kind of too hard, and I was happy to have the spider trap. Because the spider trap at first was like a novel thing, because you had to lift the walls, and it felt a bit easier than the elevator climb. But then that got too easy and predictable after all those seasons. So I'm really happy to have the invisible ladder back. That's a really good way to refresh the course. So I appreciate that. And I really just like the back half of the course this year. Like, of course you have Sam Ladder, which is fine. I mean, it's always gonna be there. But then you have either the Cannonball Alley last week or Corkscrew this week. Those are both really good. I love Cannonball Alley and I love Corkscrew as well. So that's really good. And then the doorknob arch is a classic. I feel like they could maybe add a couple more spinning knobs close together so you have to use them. Like, there's a few spinning knobs in a row. But overall, I really like that one as well. It's another OG obstacle. And then the invisible ladder is really good too. I really like it. It's cool to see all the different techniques and stuff. And I kind of want to try it myself. I've never tried that one, but I want to. So I really like that overall. I'm really happy with the back half of the course. And with me, it's rare that there's no strings attached, but I actually really do like it. I don't really have anything to say, except that I want new obstacles, but that's ubiquitous through the whole season, so it's what it is. But as the obstacles stand, I really like them. So yeah, I look pale in this. But we're gonna start with the contestants here. I put on this sheet of paper as usual, but I was telling my sister how, like, I was saying, I'm so tired from, like, I've been doing like these full days of a couple different jobs. I mean, not really jobs, but like an internship and a job, like a full-time, like a part-time, but like a job and like another thing. So every day I've been like doing 2 to 3 of those, and it's been very busy. So I was saying to my sister, like, I'm so tired, and she saw my piece of paper. She's like, why is there a piece of paper with you? And I told her I was writing down the notes from the episodes to talk about here. And then I realized how dumb that is. I'm making more jobs for myself just to do this video that I don't really want to make. So it's interesting, but that's what I got myself into. I don't know why, but that's what I got myself into. But we're close to the season now, so why not finish it out, you know? But anyway, here's my sheet of paper, which is kind of unnecessarily large because it's all in this top corner. But well, I can't. The blue pen is not showing up in the blue light in my laptop. It's like too much of the same color. But the first contestant was the Night Ninja. I don't know his name. That shows you how locked in I was this episode. I didn't see his name, but he did better in qualifying, obviously, to make it here. But unfortunately, this time he failed the log runner. So he went out earlier. He had a hard hit. And he like flipped off the log, so he did not get the result he wanted. But the log runner is one of those obstacles that can happen. Like, the log runner is very unpredictable. So of all the obstacles, it makes sense that it's that one that he regressed on. In fact, I don't know if he did in qualifying. He might have done the block run if he's in episode 1 or 4. And I don't know which episode he was in. But yeah, either way, the log runner is very unpredictable, and balance can always get you back. Like, some things like the spin cycle you can be pretty consistent on, but balance is always, I feel like, that 1 out of 10 times that just goes badly no matter who you are, essentially. I mean, you can master stuff, but, you know, most people have those surprise falls on balance. So that's unfortunate, but it happens. Then we have Paxton Myler, and speaking of the billionth or millionth time, I feel like we've seen the Ninja Kids a lot this season. We'll put it that way. They're the YouTube channel that has a lot of views apparently that I've never heard of, but apparently it's very popular. And you know, it looks like good stuff, but it's also just like kind of one of those things this season where it's like I feel like I hear about it a lot, so it's just kind of I'm not against them, but it's just I feel like they show it a lot. But he went to the corkscrew, he made it there, and he made it to the third wheel, but his grip pulled off the final wheel, so he almost made it, but he just lost the grip at the end. You can see like his hands just like peeled off and he couldn't make it. I'm gonna peel off this right here and eat it. But yeah, he was close, but he couldn't make it through. Then we had Talon Yorn, who's the Lime Ninja. He's the one that I saw on YouTube coincidentally before he was on the episode like a few days before in qualifying. This time I got his name, Talon Yorn. And they talked more in depth about his Lyme disease this time because he was a full run, not fast forward. So I talked about how he has Lyme disease and how his mom is so happy to see him go from like being bedridden for 3 years to this. He has a very good improvement. Sometimes it's bedridden because I just stay in bed for like too long. So see someone go from like not being able to get out of bed to do this is very impressive. So I'm happy for him. He ate a lime in the starting line for awareness, for Lyme disease. Better than eating a tick. But I'm really happy for him. He does some really crazy stuff on YouTube, so I'm happy to see him on there. I'm proud for him. And unfortunately, he did very well to the first half of the course. He made up the salmon ladder, but you can see he was kind of dead on the bar between like after salmon ladder to corkscrew. And he just could not lachey the first one. He couldn't get the height. He might have had like, I think he was running out of strength, but I also think he just missed the lachey, which is unfortunate, but it happens. And when you're out of strength from all the upper body, like going up with the salmon ladder, it's hard to like get anything to go up to the next one. So it happens, unfortunately, but he didn't have like a satisfying result. He kind of failed midway, but he still did very well, and I'm happy to see him there. I'm sure he'll be back. I think he's 16, so he has a lot of time. Although most of these people are like 16 now, but he has a lot of time to keep going. He's did very well this season, so happy for him. And I'm sure he'll be back next season. Then we had Donovan Matory, who I know from the Sasuke Maniac forums, where he's been on there for a while, as have I, and he's a classy ninja dressed up in a tuxedo, and Matt Knockbar gave him a tie in qualifying because it was his 10th season, and they talked about it a lot this episode about how the tie clip was a good luck charm, but he did well. There's one weird thing here where nothing to do with him, but they showed how he did the 360 on the warp wall 5 years ago, which is really cool. He did like he made it up to the top, he did a 360 and then grabbed it. I like that because it was actually a cool move, and he pulled it off, so it worked very well. But before he did the warp wall, Matt Eisman said he wouldn't do it again tonight, which is kind of like a weird thing of like him like predicting what would happen. Obviously it's like a post-production voiceover most likely, so he knew, but it's still weird when he says like, oh, he won't do it before he does it, because it's supposed to be like live, and they always make it seem like it's live. Well, not live, but you know what I mean, like live commentary. So then having him say like, oh, he's not gonna do it before he attempts it is kind of a weird thing. And then they talked about how he was the first one to clear the corkscrew before, and he could be the first one to clear it tonight, which is again a cool stat, or a cool like potential. But they said how he'll get to try that again tonight, but first he's to a salmon ladder. And the way they said it, you could tell he was gonna clear a salmon ladder. So it's just a weird thing where I felt like they were like saying what would happen before it happened in two cases, like right back to back in this run. It was weird. So maybe Matt Eisman has a crystal ball, or maybe just the post-production they got lazy, one or the other. But yeah, that was weird to me, just the way they did that. It doesn't really matter, but it's just one of those things like I noticed, because I'm on it like that. I'm looking into my crystal ball to see what they missed. But yeah, that was weird. But overall, he had a very good run. But what was cool, he made it through the corkscrew, so he got to be the first corkscrew in season 12 and season 17, the first to clear it, which is cool. Then he made it through the doorknob arch, the first to attempt it and the first to clear it. And then he went to the invisible ladder and he had a crazy run. You know, usually when you can see that someone's hanging and their grip is peeling off, so they have like this grip usually, but in the last 10 seconds you see like this, and then you know their hands open and they fall. Like usually I can predict that pretty well, but he had this thing where it looked like he was done and he was like hanging there not moving and his grip was giving out. But then he had like a second wind while he was hanging. He made it up a lot higher, and for a second I thought he was actually gonna clear it. And I was like, one of those things where I like, usually I don't know what's gonna happen, but when you see their grip I can kind of usually tell. But that one surprised me, the way he recovered from it. But unfortunately, he tried to put his foot up at the end to like pull himself up, because you know a lot of people put their feet up to get up to the end to save the last few feet of like the upward movement. They put their feet up, which is smart. But he was a bit farther down. He's probably like a foot further than average to do that. So he had to reach up higher, and he got his kind of toes on there, but then they slipped off and he fell. And first of all, I've never really seen that type of fall before on that. It was very, very sad for him. He cleared the course. I mean, he moved on anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But it was definitely sad for him because I wanted to see him clear. It was also kind of a funny fail. But it was also kind of scary because he's falling headfirst from this tower, and the platform's below, obviously, but it's a solid platform, not like a pool. And you're really supposed to land with your feet on that, or like your back, not like your head, because it's like a solid ground. So luckily he was good, and I think they didn't get a camera angle of it because they didn't really show it, like how he fell onto the ground. I'm guessing because it's such a weird way to fall, they didn't really have a camera on it. So that's kind of a weird event. It was an interesting way to fall. I'm glad they showed it, but also like it's kind of scary because like that tower is tall. So I'm glad it worked out as it did, but unfortunately it still didn't work out in his favor because he didn't clear the course. But all in all, he did a good run. He had a very strong performance. I think they said his strongest one ever. Yeah, because he cleared the 9th obstacle for the first time, so that's really good. I'm happy for him. So yeah. Then they had Katie Bone. They talked about her fall and how she made a good comeback and she's inspired people with that story. But unfortunately today she didn't inspire as much because she failed the log runner. She had a really good save and she could have inspired, but unfortunately she was hanging from the log and she kicked the water when she was trying to recover. She might have been able to recover, but she like kicked the water as she was trying to swing her legs over. So unfortunately she missed it there and she couldn't. So that's a disappointing result, but she still had a really good run, a really good season overall, and not a bad run tonight. And the balance obstacles, like I said before, will get you no matter what. So very good run. Then they had Cole Elder, who's the chicken farmer. So after he made up the warp wall, they did something where they talked to him, like Matt and Akbar talked to him, which they usually do like a little thing on top of the warp wall to talk to the competitor, like make a joke with him. But then after that, like immediately after that, they were like, time is important tonight because if he's slow, then he won't move on, because the farthest fastest thing. And those things are both like true, and like they talk to most people on top of the warp wall, and they also do the farthest, the fastest to be like a tiebreaker if someone fails the same obstacle. But the fact that they said that back to back, like we're actually trying to talk to him, they're like, oh, he wants to save time here. It's kind of weird because like they kind of force him to slow down on top of the warp wall to talk to them, but then they say he needs to go faster to like save time. It's a weird combo, and it's kind of, I don't mind the talking, but it also is slightly unfair if they're trying to go fast. So it's just a weird thing that I noticed there. But it's not too big of a deal. But he did the invisible ladder. He did it much more of like a solid form where he did like one arm up. He did like a big reaches one at a time. It was kind of like a one arm pull up, not as much strength as the one arm pull up, but very big moves up. I'm really constricted by this car ceiling here, but they were very impressive moves when he was doing them. And yeah, I'm happy to see him clear. That's kind of a good surprise person to clear. And how do I put it? I haven't really heard this guy before. It was nice to see someone clear that wasn't like one of the 10 like big name like young people that we see all the time. So I was happy to see someone different. I'm very happy for him. Then they had Janique Levette. She has a Z-Fit bars, like her brand that she made, which is cool. I believe she's like a entrepreneur. So she should go on Shark Tank, my other show I like. But she failed the corkscrew, unfortunately. She made it like through the first 2 drops, but then she fell off the last one. Also, I got a text here. I got another text. I got a response. Now I'm distracted from my episode because I have to respond to that. I mean, from my reviews because I have to respond to that. But anyway, where's I at? She was halfway through. She made 2 drops and she let go and fell. So that's unfortunate. But she still moved on because I remember she was in the 20th spot, so she just made it. So I'm happy for her. And yeah. Then they had Kai Beckstrand, who is a very good ninja. One of the kind of common ones this season, who's done well. He made it through a doorknob arch. He skipped the spinning knobs. Matt and Akbar pointed out he skipped the spinning knobs, and that's why I thought that they should make more spinning knobs, or like put maybe 5 in a row so they have to use a couple of them. Not to like be evil to the competitors, but just so they have to use the spinning ones, because that would make it challenging. And in the past they've done the spinning ones. It's not like the spinning ones are impossible, so I would kind of like to see that as well. Not to knock, this was a good strategy for him. It makes sense to skip them, but I would like to see one where they have to use them, just to be a different challenge, and to mix it up, because it's probably gonna be in the next episode too. But they won't do that. But they'll be the same. But still, it'd be nice. So he skipped the spinning knobs. Then he did the invisible ladder in a similar way. He did a muscle up. I think slightly bigger moves than Cole Elder did, but a similar way of like that one arm smooth muscle up. So, or pull up, not muscle up, but very good. So I'm happy for him as well. And he cleared. Then they had Evan Levaye. They said his mom has stiff person syndrome, which I didn't know was a thing. But I didn't really know it was like it's probably not a common thing, but I didn't know it existed. But it sounds like a tough thing because you can't like not be able to stand at any given time. You can like, I guess your muscles just give out, which is scary, obviously. So they showed how he did a lot of chores for his mom and helped her in every way. And how he does ninja is very, it's like something that she's able to enjoy despite obviously all of her struggles with this. So that's a cool story, as cool as it can be despite with the context. But that was a good one, even though unfortunately it's one of those stories that's kind of sad. But he did the drawdown arch. He did a very early dismount. Like most people dismount before the last few, because the last few are again like in like a way over the platform, so you don't really use them because there's no need, because the platform's right there anyway. But he did from like, he skipped like the last maybe 8 doorknobs. He did a bigger dismount, and it's kind of an awkward dismount because you're dismounting from the doorknobs here, and the rest of the arch is down here, so you have to kind of go backwards a little bit to avoid the wall. I feel like I discussed this exact same thing last week, but this was a more extreme example because he was farther away from the platform, so he had to do kind of like a backwards lache. He had to get distance to the right and also backwards to not go to the wall. So that was an interesting dynamic. And cool to see him do an early dismount. I appreciate that. And then he cleared the course, so I'm happy for him as well. And again, I really get an appreciation for the invisible ladder here, because like, seeing people do it in different ways, I really appreciate it. That being said, I don't know how he did it because I didn't write it down and I'm so tired right now. But I did enjoy all the invisible ladder attempts, no matter how he did it. Why the heck? I look like, what do you call it? The Mark Zuckerberg. I feel like I just look like extra like Mark Zuckerberg today. I don't like it. Anyway, I'm not gonna look at the camera because I don't like that. Then they did a mid cut to save some time. They did a mid cut of Nicholas Coleridge. He did the back half of the course, and here's what I kind of thought about the back half of the course, because we only saw one of those 4 obstacles. I kind of realized how much I appreciate it, because it's the salmon ladder, the corkscrew, the drawdown arch, and the invisible ladder. I was like, that's a pretty solid set of obstacles. So that's where I got the idea that I like it, that I said before. But that being said, they said how he hasn't competed in 7 years and he's doing pretty well despite that. He made it to invisible ladder, and then they scared me because they said that he was the first to clear it 10 years ago, and I was like, what? Because in my mind, like, I feel like that debuted like 7 years ago, maybe 6 or 7 years ago, but 10, like I knew it debuted in 2015, but just like the realization that was 10 years ago was scary. Kind of when they said the spin cycle in the first episode, I was like, what? Like the fact that it's been 10 years is crazy, but it's true. Time is flying. I've been holding these for like a minute. I'm gonna, as I process the news about the 10 years, I'm gonna eat this one. But yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. Time's scary. I can't deal with it anymore. But yeah, that's like half my life almost. It's too much. But yeah, that was a surprising stat. And he did the invisible ladder, but he just missed the top. He barely missed it. So he didn't get to do another one of those things where it's like, oh, can you clear it again? He couldn't. But he came close. He still had a good run, and just not competing in 7 years, that's very impressive. So I'm happy for him. Then he did Sean Bryan. You talk about how he does like viral videos, and the kind of the juxtaposition of the viral videos and his like being the papal ninja is kind of a weird thing. And they showed how he's like, basically the skits are like, he makes his employee fall through the roof to leave before 5 p.m. so he doesn't get overtime. It's like a funny skit. And then he did like variations of that where he's like pushing him off the roof and stuff. And I feel like it's an interesting dynamic between the religion and this, because I feel like what if he accidentally pushed him off the roof and killed them? How would that go with like the, I feel like that's some kind of sin, like the risk of trying to make a viral video, the risk of doing that just to go viral, I think that's probably some kind of sin, but I don't know how that works. But you know what I'm saying? It's an interesting dynamic, but I kind of appreciate it. It's unique. So again, I always like the unique stories, even if they might be questionable for the Catholic church. I'll ask. I should ask my church about that. But yeah, he did a good run. He did something I can't read because I can't read what I wrote here. Oh, okay. He barely cleared the invisible ladder. I was worried for him, but he just made it up. He had a very good run and he cleared. That's all I wrote. I thought I wrote something different because I thought I wrote barrel, but I wrote barely. But it's very bad handwriting. So okay. And then he did a mid cut of Luke Beckstrom, Kai Beckstrom's younger brother, who's trying to be like the faster this time. And they mid cut to him at the end of spin cycle going on to Ferris wheels. So we missed the first 2 obstacles, but we didn't miss too much because he was going so fast anyway. He went through them so quickly. And then they showed on the corkscrew, he went to the first and second easily, but then the second to the third, he did like a one-handed grab. Instead of like, well, not a one-handed grab, but like instead of doing like a full lache, he kind of reached with one hand and then grabbed with the other. He had a very close grip. Instead of like you want to be at like 9 and 3, I guess you would say, but he was at like 11 and 12 or 11:30 and 12:30 on the clock, on the metaphorical clock. So it's very close grip, which is more sketchy for something that spins like that, but he was able to hang on anyway, and he made it through that, and then he cleared the course in the fastest time. Yeah, he beat his brother, yeah. So that's really cool. Happy for him. And he made it through. So the Beckstrom family is dominating again this episode, so good for them. And yeah. Then they did Taylor Green, the last round of the night. They did a weird profile of her that I'm not really a fan of this type of profile because it just seems too like, I feel like I'm on Instagram when I watch it, or I feel like I'm on like TikTok or something when I watch it. Maybe it's the Sean Bryan special of trying to go viral. But they did like this or that, like, oh, do you like cats or dogs or something like something like I don't. No offense, like I don't care. I'm not saying like you have to make something that's like. And I'm not saying you have to care about everything. It's not like that, but it seems kind of irrelevant to me. There's a format to do stuff in where you just like do a story or even do something fun, but that seems so scripted to me. And just kind of like they script it to make her like one of the people that they can show. So I don't know. I have no problem with it, but it's just like one of those things that I wasn't a huge fan of. And then they did like Matt Rapper at the end, and she said Zuri. So they made that into a joke. But like the profile piece was kind of weird to me. But whatever, it doesn't really matter. But then they did. She ran. She had a great run. And on the invisible ladder, she was like. First of all, I thought how it was rare to see a woman on the invisible ladder because we haven't. Back when the invisible ladder was on, women didn't make it to the 10th obstacle very often, or season 7, 8, or 9. I don't think ever. Maybe once. Yeah, Josie Graff made it to it once, I think. But it was a very rare thing. So seeing her on there was cool. And she made it up. And at the top of the ladder, she wasn't even like. She looked a lot fresher than most people on that. Like, if there's another 5 feet, I feel like she could have done it, which is rare to say on the invisible ladder because most people are very exhausted when they complete it, which is why I like it because it's like, it drains everyone's strength. But she looked like she could have gone farther. So it's very cool to see and very impressive. So she's definitely something to look out for in the coming episodes. She cleared. So she's the 5th woman to clear a finals course and the youngest. So yeah, that's really good. And that's the last round of the night. And thankfully, this was a relatively quick video. But then they showed the leaderboard and they said that 10 people cleared, I believe. And they said all but one was under 20 or younger, which is another thing, kind of like the 10 years fact about the invisible ladder, where it's like, what the heck, like 9 out of 10 people that cleared are younger than me. That's a very weird. I used to be like the young one. Now I'm like, in a matter of 5 years, it's like I've gone to like the old side of the show. Not that I'm on the show, but like in theory. But Sean Bryan was the only one to clear. He was 40, but everyone else was 20 or under. So it's very strange to see that dynamic. I wish there's more older people. You can't deny the younger people are doing very well, but just watching it, it's like, what the heck? When I'm 30, this is gonna be very depressing. not that 30 is old, but you know what I'm saying. It's just like, it's weird watching it as I'm 22. Back when 21 was like the age on the show, now I'm watching it at 22 and I'm like old for it. So it's just a weird dynamic. The show kind of managed to avoid me in my prime. I mean, not in my prime, but like they managed to avoid me being the prime age. Because before I was like too old for it and now I'm too young for it. It kind of skipped through me. They were afraid of me being too good, I guess. So they just avoided me. They're afraid of the Mark Zuckerberg look like winning the show. But anyway, but yeah, overall I like this episode. It was pretty good. I really like the back half of the course, and I like most of the obstacles. I wish we had more new ones. That's kind of my biggest gripe right now, is that we need more variety and more new obstacles. But the obstacles that they do have are good for the most part. Like this week, I had no problem with any of them. I don't think. Just kind of the repetition of some of them is annoying, but they were all good. Like there's no log grip on this course or anything that I find really egregious. So yeah, I like it. And overall, I like this episode. I appreciate it. And thank you guys for watching this review. And until next time, for the next semifinals episode, I will see you. Thank you for watching, and peace out.